Hello, everyone. Welcome to Alphawisdom. This is lesson 108. I'm Mystic Cassandria. We're talking about a famous person. We're analyzing, reading the poem, of this famous person. This is a person who's passed away. He's dead now. He was a leader of Libya, the country of Libya, and he has his name, I won't attempt his first name pronunciation, but al-Gaddafi. Gaddafi. Okay. So let's take a look. I found these photos and I thought it would be interesting to just separate the fingers when discussing from the hand itself, because it's a lot to be said about the hands. A lot to be said about the fingers too. We look at the fingers to gauge what's going on with the person, and we usually come up with the correct answer. So you can get to know someone just by looking at their fingers. All right, here we are, so you don't get started. We're talking about number one over here. 1, 2, 3, we go to the index finger. 4, we talk about the thumb, middle finger on 5, and 6, we are talking about the gaps. Okay. All right. With an earth hand, we know that this is a broad palm or a square palm with shorter fingers. That's an earth hand. And these people are most times solid, heavy boned, or big boned, large boned, and home life is very important with them. They're careful with money, and they tend to be very sensitive when it comes to dealing with the home. Now, the home could be the family, could be where you live, could be the country. That's what they consider home is all about. All right, let's go on to the fingertip. You can see what the tips are, the top part. It's like a slight bulge on either side of the ring finger and the middle finger. That's called a spatulate. And it means the person is into action, exercise, keeping the body in shape, strong enough to do their will, and movement. All right, going on to number 3, let's take a look at that index finger, which is also called the Jupiter finger. It's leaning toward the Saturn. That's the only way it will lean. All right, it happens in the left hand, but we can see it more clearly with the right hand. Okay, so you see listed there, when that happens, this person has conformist tendency, and personal power is very important. Middle finger deals primarily with law, anything connected with the law. All right, going on to the thumb. Looking at this thumb, you can see that, or maybe you can't see, the thumb is rather short for this size hand, and the thumb is stiff. When it's stiff, it means it's not flexible, and the mentality or the thinking processes are also stiff. They're not flexible. So you can make a judgment by the thumb shape. There are only 3 shapes for the thumb. It can be stiff like this one is. It can be floppy, indicating flexibility. And of course, the club thumb. So this falls in the first category, stiff, stiff-minded, stiff thinking. All right, let's go on to the next one. Here we have the gap, number 6. No, I'm sorry, I'm missing one. The middle finger is short. Short. Look at it. It's almost the same length as the ring finger. And the index finger is not too far off. So when that happens, that means this person is deeply unconventional and hates to be bound by rules. So they tend to follow their own rule. And with a stiff way of thinking, the results, you can imagine what the results would be. Let's take the last one, gap between the index finger and the middle finger. That indicates an independent thinker. Remember, your thoughts, your ideas. That gap shows how you handle it when you're dealing with people. Are you open to somebody else's opinion? He's slightly open. He might listen, but this person likes to make up his own mind, the final decision. Okay, let's go on to what's in the palm. Okay, I've labeled them for you. You can see what the numbers are. Number 1, here we are over here, number 1. Number 2 is just below. 3 is below the thumb. 4 is on the thumb. 5 is below at the wrist. 6 is right at the lunar part. 7 is just above that. 8 is just below the little finger. 9, you see, under the ring finger. 10 is there. And that's it. Okay, so let's go on with these. Number 1, which seems to come out, we have disruption in energy. Disruption in energy. That's what we have there. Also with that same one, which is listed as number 2, there's a joining of the head and the lifeline. Now, we spent a lot of time on several lessons before on what that means. So stay close to the family and watch that line that moves straight up. You see under the index finger, it says age 12. That's when he moved away in his thinking. He didn't move away from the family, but his thinking processes starts to become on his own rather than relying on the others. Sometimes people say, you learn to think. That's when he started to think on his own. Let's go on to number 4. These are support lines. Well, it's 1 there. You see a support line where the arrow has pointed. Okay, that supports, that gives extra strength, extra energy. And number 5, we have, I think I got the number mixed up. Let's go to number 3. That's below the thumb. That's the influence lines. Influence line, someone in the family. It's in the family because those lines there indicate in the family. All right. Then we have a support line that's above that. It's sort of standing alone. That means for number 4, and I've already told you what that was. All right, let's look at the lifeline. The lifeline ends there. It is very solid, well-defined until where that arrow point is. Then it starts to thin out. But you've got a support line that picks up the slack a bit. Okay, this just means his energy storage is giving out. All right, let's go on to number 6. All right, number 6 shows the fate line, and that goes straight up, straight up. And number 10, we'll come around to that. Number 7, that's a Mercury line. Solid Mercury line. There are no health issues there. There is, in the mindset of this person, his mind is clear. He would classify himself as intelligent. No problem there. Let's go on to number 7, which is the headline. The headline comes around, and the headline is very clear. No problem there. And it's going straight. Practical rules have to be proven before they are accepted. Number 8, that's your heart line. The heart line, a little disruption at the beginning, which is normal, and it goes on. It stays strong. Slight disruptions, that would be emotional disappointments, but nothing anywhere near serious. Number 9, he has a sun line, and the sun line goes below the headline. So this person was destined to be out in the public. People knew about him. The world knew about him. So that comes with the sun line. Let's go to number 10. That is another fate line, which comes from the lifeline, heads to the middle finger. That happens. So it shows he got support from the family. Could be words of wisdom or money. I don't know, but it's something from the family. All right, that would be number 10. And that ends that. I think we've covered everything. I hope you understood this. And if you liked it or you understood it, you know what to do. Give a thumbs up, share, and of course, subscribe. We're going to be continuing with this. I'm not sure whether we'll do another video this time. We're always going to be doing them, but we'll see what we come up with. All right? So as usual, have a great day. Take care of yourselves and be happy. Bye.